Okay, guys. So in previous class, we are discussed few things that is related to firewall implementation, firewall handling, and we already discussed few points that is related to firewall, how the firewall actually works on the basis of signatures, on the basis of access control list, which can be configured, the different types of filters, using a filters via the protocols, ports, as well as the programs, as well as the different etc. options. And after that, we are already discussed like types of firewall that is based on the software base. We can say that that is a host based firewall, and hardware based, that is we can say that that is a network based firewall. And we already seen like how these the types of firewall are actually works. And after that, we already discussed like the other types of firewall that is based on the packet filtering firewall, application level proxy firewalls, as well as the hardware based firewall. Now, and after that, we are already discussed about the IDS and the IPS system and how they are actually work. So today is based on the practical things, and today I'm just going to show you like how the software based firewall is works into the systems on the basis of port numbers, as well as the program, as well as the IP address. And after that, I will show you the type of firewall that which we can say that that is a snort type of firewall. That is again the software based firewalls which is installed. Yeah, we can install that firewall into the Windows operating system and use it. So how we can install, yeah, how we can use the snort. And after that, I'm just going to show you the Linux firewall and how we can use the Linux firewall for filter the packets on the basis of signatures. Okay, so this is our today's topic. So I'm just going to show you the Ender screen, so you will see like how the software based firewall are exactly works, right? Now, so how we can use this particular software, software based firewall. So firstly, I'm just going to open my Firefox and let's check is this connected with the network or not. So I'm just going to open the google.com and it's successfully open, right? Completely open and frequently open. So now what we have to do, we are just going to open the firewall, advanced securities. This is the panel of the software based firewall. Now, the firewall is on. My firewall is on. Private mode is on. Private profile is on. Domain profile is on, and the public profile is also on. That's great. So these are the two lists. That is the first list, which is called as the inbound list, and the second list, which is called the outbound list. So what we have to do, we are just creating a new rule into the outbound list, so we can filter the packets of the on the basis of port number as well as on the basis of program also. So I'm just creating the outbound rule set. So these are the rule which is created already by the system administrator. So these are all the rules which is having some attributes like name, group, profile, enabled, actions, program, local address, remote address, and remote address and protocols, local ports and remote ports, and allowed by the computer. So these are all the rule sets which is already designed by the network administrator who is already installed in your computer system. So at that point, I'm just creating a custom rule set by the using of port number. So how we can create it? The just click on, just come to the right side of the window and you just look at here, there is an option that is a new rule. Just click on this option and just select the port number option. After that, you just if you want to now if you want to create a rule set on the basis of program, so you will select the program. If you want to create a rule set on the port number, you can select the port number. If you want to create some predefined things that is based on the HTTP and the something of else, so we can select this thing. Otherwise, we can create a custom option also, and this custom also will define you all the things one by one. So I'm not going to select the custom also this time. I'm just directly going to select the port number option for creating an access control list on the basis of port number. So I'm just selecting the port and just click to next button. After that, it is asking me, please select the rules on the basis of apply. You want to apply on which port numbers, like TCP ports, you want to apply this rule on the UDP port. So I'm just selecting the TCP ports at this time. If you want to create some rule on the basis of UDP, so you can select the UDP ports, otherwise just select the TCP ports. This time I'm just selecting the TCP port. After that, it is asking about like, does this rule apply on the remote or a specific port number? It is asking about like, you want to apply this rule on the all port number as well as a specific port number, remote port number. So if you want to apply this rule on the all TCP port number, just select it. Otherwise, you want a specific port number, just select it. So I'm not going to set the all remote port. I'm just going to set a specific remote port that is based on the 80 and 443, because I'm just going to check this procedure over the browser. So you know very well, browser is using only the two types of protocol, that is HTTP and HTTPS. So this time 80 port number is already assigned to the HTTP service and 443 port number is already assigned to the HTTPS service. So that's why I'm just set the specific remote port for the filter the packet on the basis of 80 and the 443. Now just click to next. And after that, it is asking about like, you want to allow this connection, you want to allow this connection if it's secure on the basis of some filters, yeah, on the basis of some policies. So I'm not going to select over these two options. I'm just going to directly select on the block the option, block the connection, because we want to block the connection to check like if the filter, if the network administrator is set a access control list on the basis of port numbers or block the any type of packet which is comes as well as going, which is comes from the which is comes by the using of 80 as well as the 443 port number. So it working, it's a block or not. So that's why I'm just going to select the block the connection and just click to next. After next, it is asking about when does this rule apply. You want to apply this rule on the domain, you want to apply this rule on the private, you want to apply this rule on the public. We have three types of profiles for connecting the network, yeah, for setting the rule set on the basis of domain, on the basis of private, on the basis of public. So if you are if you are setted your Windows Firefox, sorry, if you are set your Mozilla Firefox on the basis of private as well as the public network, so after that, by the using of Windows network, they can directly access to the google.com. But if you selected uh, among threes, so after that, all the traffic will be blocked by the using of port which is comes from the port number 80 and the 443. So I'm just selecting over these, over all these three, and after that I'm just going to click to next button. The next, it is asking about the name. Please set the new name. So I'm just writing a name that is the HTTP block. It is completely depending upon you what's the name you are using for setting the rules. So I am just using HTTP block because we are just block the port number 80 and 443 for checking this procedure it's working or not. So I'm just using a name that is HTTP block, and after that you set the description. Description is optional. If you have some description, so you just set it. If you don't have some description, so you don't need to set this description part. Just directly click to the finish part. Once you have to finish, just look at here. There is a one rule set is designed, that is the name of HTTP block. And if you want to check the rules policy, so once you have to click, like once you have to see, there is no group assigned to this particular rule, because we are not going to assign any type of group of this particular rule set, but you are just going to see like the attribute name is a profile, and the profile is set to all same, that is enabled rule. In a rule is enabled, it means rule is active, and the action is blocked. What the action is basically performed by this rule, that is a blocked action, right? And the program, any program, if any type of program is basically using a 80 and 440, all the connection will be blocked. And the local network address is any, remote address is any, all the local network, all the remote address, all the type of addresses will be blocked by the using of port number 80 and 440. After that, the protocol is a TCP, because we are setting this 80 and 440 by the using of by the transmission of using the TCP protocol. So we are just using a TCP protocol sets for blocking these two 80 and 440, and local port, that is any port, and based on the remote port, that is the 80 and 440. Allowed computer, that is anyone can come and access via this port, so it is showing that is the block connection. So for the example part, just minimize this window and just come to the browser and type into the URL, that is google.com, and press the enter. So now just look at here, if google.com is unable to connect, via, because there is showing there is a break the connection, because the firewall is blocked the actual packet. So this is the complete rule, like how to create access control list on the basis of port numbers, right? Got it clear everything?
Answer.
Great. So now I'm just going to represent another rule set at the basis of the program. So if you want to create a program rule set, so firstly I'm just going to disable this rule set. Like I'm just going to disable, right click and disable rule. So the rule is this one. If you want to delete this rule, just right click and just click to delete. So the rule is directly going to delete. But if you don't want to delete and in future you just want to use this rule, so just disable this rule and just test everything is working or not. So I'm just testing, and now this time the google.com access by the browser. That's great. Okay, now what we have to do, we are just going to create another rule on the basis of program. So just again click on the new rules and just select the program this time. So I'm just selecting the program this time and just click to the next, and it is asking about all the programs to block, as well as to allow the connection, as well as the you are just want to create a new filter on the basis of all programs, as well as the program path, specific program. So I'm not going to block all the program. Yeah, I am not going to design a rule set on the basis of all programs. I am just simply design a rule set on the basis of specific program that is based on the this program path. So for this procedure, we are just going to browse the path and just set the program exe file. So just browse the path, and where is the actual program is installed, that is installed into the Windows. Like if you don't know where the path, to just come to the computer and just select the Windows directory. Sorry, that is not a window directory, right? Just select the program files, and after that you just see the program. I'm just selecting the program, that is a Mozilla Firefox this time. So just select the window Mozilla Firefox, and after that you are just seeing there is an application file, that is a exe file, that is having an extension of the exe Firefox. Just select the program and just click to open. After that, once you have to selected the program, just click to the next button, and it is asking about again, that is the allow the connection if it is secure, as well as the block the connection. So this time I'm just using the block the connection and just click to next. Once you have to click to next, it is asking again the rule set which is apply on the domain profile, on the private profile, as well as the public profile. So I'm just selecting all the profiles, so it is showing all option, like this behind the screen. You have to see like profile is all, right, on the basis of domain, private and public. Now just click to next button and just write some name here. So I'm just using some name of this particular filter, that is a Firefox blog. And after that, just click to the finish. If you want to set any type of description on the basis of optional option, so you can set it. Otherwise, you just click to the next option. And my rule is enabled. Now just look at here, my rule is enabled. So after that, I'm just going to open the Firefox and just trying to access the any type of link on this time. So once you have to click on this, it is showing you the enable to connect, because there is a established connection error. So this is the practical part, which is on the basis of program filters. Clear, guys?
Answer.
Great. So now I'm just going to show something more, like if you want to just right click on this profile in this rule set and just click to the properties. So if you are just going on the property, you have to see something here like protocols and the code. In the general, you have to see the name of the blog. Description is not set, enabled here rule, because the rule is enabled. Or after that, the rule status is basically a block the connection. Now just click on the second option, that is a protocol and the port number. So you have to see there is no other port number is basically selected, because this rule is basically designed on the program basis. Okay, not an issue. Now just select to the program and services, and now just look at here, there is a specific program is set, and this is the path of the program. If you want to change the program profile path, you can also change the program path. After that, just click on the scope, and if you want to create the scope, you can block any type of IP address for a specific program. So this the first option, basically the local IP address, any IP address. If you want to come, that is blocked. If you want to allow some IP address, just click to add the IP address. After that IP address is basically blocked as well as the allow. And then the same procedure basically comes on the remote IP address also. Now after that, just come to the computers, and once you have to come to the, okay, this computer is basically works on the basis of the IP addresses. So this is again only allow connection of these computer. If you want to set the ESS ID name of that particular computer, that is called the net BIOS name. If you just writing some net BIOS name on this time on this text area, so these all that all computers is basically allowed by this particular rule. And after that, just click on the advanced option, and you have to see there is three profiles: domain, private and public, and all the profile is set. Now just click to apply, and if you are doing any type of changes on this place, so that is going to apply. After that, just click to OK, and the rule set is completely finished. Clear?
Answer.
Now, there is one few more options here, like the filters by the profile. If you are already set at the different types of rules and you just want to check the rules, you want to set the rules on the basis of profile. So just click on the filter by profiles, and after that you can see what the filters is basically using by the domains based profile, or what the filters are basically used by the private based profile, what the filters are basically used by the public based profile. So you can see all options as well as the private profile, because I'm just using the filter that is based on the private profile. If you're going to show all, so it will show all types of profile, that is private, domain, public, everything. Now after that, there is one more filter, that is filter by the state. If you are going to set that state, filter by enable or the disable option. There are two options. The rule set is enabled. If you want to show that rules that are already enabled, so just click on that. So it is showing only that rules which is profile, yeah, which is having a state that is enabled. If you want to change the state, that is just click on the disable, and it is showing all the state which is having the unable, yeah, it means disable profiles, right? Disable state. So I'm just going to reset these settings to show all the state. And there's one more filter that is based on the group. So if the rule set is basically designed on the basis of one group, so we can filter that rule set on the basis of groups. So if you want to click that thing, that it is showing the group, that one. If you want to click on that, it is showing the all the groups, all the filter which is using a file, printer sharing, etc, etc. So this is all about like the rule set. Now there is one more option. If you want to export this whole list, if you want to export this whole list of these filters and you just import this list into the another machine, so you can also use it. Like how to export this list. So after that, that all filter list is basically exported as a file, and after that you can analyze that file and just investigate what the loophole are basically available on this particular filters list, access control list. Clear, guys?
Answer.
Okay, so after that, there is one more option into the left hand side, that is a connection rules for security rules. There is no connection security rule set. Okay, not an issue. There is one more monitoring. So what is the role of monitoring? If you want to check like your firewall is working properly or not, all the rules are your firewall rules are enabled or not, your firewall is active or not, so you can directly check from here. Like you can directly check the rules is enabled or not, you can check the rules is active or not. So you can directly check by the rules, view active rules. You want to check the active rule, you can just click on there. If you want to check the active connection security rule, just click on there. If you want to check the view security association, just click on there. And after that, there is one more things like the firewall. If you want to set only the rule set which is used by the firewall, so you can see here, if you want to rule set connection by the rules, so there is no option because the connection security rules is not set. And there is one more option, yeah, one more feature, that is at security association, that is based on the main mode, that is based on the quick mode. So there is no local address and a remote address on the quick and the main mode is set because the security is association is not set on this time. But if you want to create these things, so you can also add the columns and just create these things. So this is all about like how the software based firewall is actually works into the Windows already installed firewall. Clear, guys?
Answer.
But yeah, okay. Just open the firewall again and reset the setting because I don't want कि मेरा rule काम ना करे. So I'm just going to delete this rule on this time. Great. So just trying to access google.com. Yeah, it's completely fine. So this is the procedure. It basically works on the software-based firewall, which is called as a host-based firewall, right? So now I'm just going to show you the another procedure that is based on the software-based firewall, which is called as a snort.